All right, family, thank you so much once again for joining me. We are on another episode, and this time I will urge everybody to hit the like button. Like, just hit the like button. It's very necessary. This video needs to go far because whatever come out of it, whatever agenda that we are going to expose right now, whatever come out of it, negative or positive, you and I on the continent of Africa will be affected. That is just what it is. Africa has become like a comedy show. Let me show you. I don't know how many of you who watched the speech of the president of Ghana recently, when the president, John Dramani Mahama, has announced that Ghana will present a historic resolution at the United Nations General Assembly around March 25th, 2026. The goal of this motion is to have the transatlantic slave trade recognized as the greatest crime against humanity and to seek reparations for people of African descent for the lasting harms of slavery and colonialism. Slavery and colonialism. The date that he said that this motion will be moved, the date is very significant because the UN observed International Day of Remembrance of Victims of Slavery and the Transatlantic Slave Trade on March 25th. It looks like this whole thing is a joke. It's a joke. Like, I'll show you that these people don't care a fig about this motion and this reparation. You see the reason why I'm against the reparation? And also, he highlighted how Western government pay compensation to former slave owners after abolishing, okay? But nothing was paid to the victims or their descendants. Let's listen to a piece of that, and then let me play a second video, and you see how normally African leaders, all of them right now, they need to call an emergency meeting, need to be on board right now, but they are quiet. Listen to this. That's why I said the whole thing is just comedy.
National Reparations Commissions, advanced continental legal frameworks on cultural, economic, and financial reparation, and other measures. Reparatory justice will not be handed over to us like political independence. It must be asserted, it must be pursued, and secured through determination and unity. The decision is to adopt a decade of reparation. The decision to adopt a decade of reparations marks a strategic shift from a time-bound observance to a sustained global commitment. Mr. Chairman, the draft UN resolution titled Declaration of the Trafficking on Enslaved Africans and Radicalized Racial Chattel Enslavement of Africans as a Greatest Crime Against Humanity is going to be moved by Ghana on the floor of the General Assembly on March 25th this year. The resolution has been submitted to this assembly for endorsement in order that Africa speaks with one voice on that global platform. And I'm pleased to announce that several CARICOM countries and other of our allies have endorsed this resolution. And so I urge this assembly to pass the resolution for tabling at the UN General Assembly on March 25th. I thank you.
Good. This is the president seriously, okay, requesting that they should move a motion to make sure that the reparation is paid and the slave trade and should be recognized as the greatest crime against humanity, and reparations should be paid for slave trade and colonialism. Meanwhile, the people who are the reason for this are reorganizing to champion this part again, and African leaders are quiet. Listen to Marco Rubio. You see, this Marco Rubio speech, I was thinking that it was AI. So I kept quiet and I did a lot of research to find out if truly this is human being speaking. I became surprised when I realized that this is human being speaking and African leaders are quiet over this. When you listen to Marco Rubio, he coded the speech in such a way. I'll break it down here. Don't worry. Let's just listen. You trust me, right? Click the like button for me, first of all, and then subscribe to be part of the family.
For 5 centuries before the end of the Second World War, the West had been expanding. Its missionaries, its pilgrims, its soldiers, its explorers pouring out from its shores to cross oceans, settle new continents, build vast empires extending out across the globe. But in 1945, for the first time since the age of Columbus, it was contracting. Europe was in ruins. Half of it lived behind an iron curtain, and the rest looked like it would soon follow. The great Western empires had entered into terminal decline, accelerated by godless communist revolutions and by anti-colonial uprisings. that would transform the world and drape the red hammer and sickle across vast swaths of the map in the years to come. Against that backdrop, then, as now, many came to believe that the West's age of dominance had come to an end, and that our future was destined to be a faint and feeble echo of our past. But together, our predecessors recognized that decline was a choice, and it was a choice they refused to make. This is what we did together once before, and this is what President Trump and the United States want to do again now, together with you. And this is why we do not want our allies to be weak, because that makes us weaker. We want allies who can defend themselves so that no adversary will ever be tempted to test our collective strength. This is why we do not want our allies to be shackled by guilt and shame. We want allies who are proud of their culture and of their heritage, who understand that we are heirs to the same great and noble civilization, and who together with us are willing and able to defend it. And this is why we do not want allies to rationalize the broken status quo rather than reckon with what is necessary to fix it. For we in America have no interest in being polite and orderly caretakers of the West's managed decline.
This is a speech that, after this speech, in any serious continent, or on any serious continent, African leaders need to call emergency meeting and condemn it. But all of them are quiet. African Union, they need to call a meeting immediately and take a step against it. All of their interests on the continent need to be threatened immediately. Africa need to start speaking with one voice against this. Let me break down what this speech is actually saying. The speech of Marco Rubio is glorifying Western expansion and empire. When you look at it, Rubio begins by celebrating the 500 years of Western expansion, missionaries, soldiers, explorers, empire. He framed colonial conquest as a civilizational achievement. Now, in the speech, violence, slavery, land theft, and cultural destruction are erased in the speech. So, this is kind of like historical whitewashing, not a neutral history. He went on by painting decolonization as a disaster. Can you imagine that? Marco Rubio described the post-1945 decolonization as terminal decline. A terminal decline caused by communism, caused by anti-colonial uprising. So in translation, it simply means that African and Asian resistance to colonial rule is portrayed as a mistake. Freedom movement are framed as destructive, not liberating. He is implying that colonial rule is better than independence. He made a statement also. He said the decline is a choice, and the West choose empire again. According to Marco Rubio, Western leaders refused decline and did it again. This is the most dangerous part of the speech. What this did it again means in modern language, when you bring it down, is talking about military dominance, economic control, political interference, cultural and ideological enforcement. This is neocolonialism openly defended, and African leaders are quiet. He went on to say that we want to do it again now. Rubio openly stated that the United States want to repeat this project today, together with allies. Simply mean that the West must dominate again and others must fall in line. Global power must be recolonized. That is what Marco Rubio is saying. So Africa, by definition of Marco Rubio's speech, become a terrain, not a partner. And African leaders are quiet. He said, do not be shackled by guilt or shame. He's telling the people, his people, that they shouldn't be shackled by guilt or shame. This is a direct instruction to stop apologizing for colonial crimes, stop acknowledging historical injustice, reject reparations, accountability, and moral reflection. That is just what he's telling them. Meanwhile, African leaders are pushing for this, and the people are pushing against it. They are like, we are coming back for it. This speech is intellectual groundwork for recolonization of Africa. A statement that Marco Rubio made when he said, one great and noble civilization, the phrase is coded. It means Western civilization is superior and other civilizations are secondary. The West has a duty to lead or control. Africa is excluded unless we submit culturally, politically, and economically. Mentioning the managed decline, saying that the West reject They manage decline. He said America doesn't want to politely manage the decline. In simple terms, Marco Rubio is saying that the West will not step back peacefully. It will resist multipolarity to confront rising independence bloc like Africa, BRICS, Global South. The speech of Marco Rubio is built on three beliefs. Empire is good. Decolonization was a mistake. Western dominance must be restored. This is imperial revival thinking, and African leaders are quiet. They are hosting their meetings and things. They are quiet on this. So somebody stood up to tell them that all your neo-colonization and colonization narrative and whatever you are doing and slave trade reparation and things, we don't care a fig about it. We are coming back again. And they are quiet watching. This is why you need to like this video. Let's push this video now. It is a shame to the continent. I was waiting for the President John Dramani Mahama to say something about this because he is the one, Mr. President John Dramani Mahama, you are the one pushing for reparation these days more. You are the one pushing for reparation of slavery and colonization and the theft of land and resources more than anybody right now as we speak. Oh. And the people that you are pushing the reparation against, they are saying that they are coming back. What do you have to say about that? We are joking on the continent. They are not taking anything serious. We will be here and then they will come again. And now this explains why we have their strategic military are surrounding us. You go to Nigeria, they are there to fight T people. You go to Ghana, France troops are here. They want to help us fight Galamsey. You go to this, they are surrounding us with their military and with the narrative of counter-terrorism, and we are relaxed. This is the real agenda exposed by Marco Rubio. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. I'm coming back with part 2 with this conversation, and this time I'll use the screen to teach you something that is going on.